Okay, so we're getting towards the end. I have no idea how long this video is right now, but I'm sure it's quite long. So thank you for hanging out with me and seeing what all Halloween projects I have, which is also why I'm doing like mini WIP parades at the beginning of each month to break up the amount of WIPs that I have so you can actually see everything throughout the year. So I won't have any like major all-in-one WIP parade. It'll just be a little snippet each month out of the year, and then you'll get to see those again the same month the following year. So these are twin projects that Tammy finished and I did not. Halloween Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. I almost have this finished. Had some traumatic events happen in my life at the time I was stitching on it, so I had to put it away for a couple years so that, yeah, I could stitch on it again. So I haven't picked this up since. This will be the first time in about a little over like 2 years and a few months that I'll be picking this back up again. I did dye the fabric myself. I just did a white Aida with a tea and tan mottled dye. I use tea sometimes because it helps with the shading, and then the tan gives that crackled old school look. So on my Halloween Tiny Town, my ghosts are glow in the dark. I've changed to beads in the eyes. What else did I do? I did something else specialty. So I'll have to look at my notes. I know I did like some beads in the eyes for the pumpkins. The doorknobs are all beads. So this one I was beading and back stitching and doing all the specialty stuff as I was stitching. I thought it would be easier that way, but with moving it in the Q-snap and the hoop, I have to make sure I get it just right so that I don't smash a bead or snap a bead, and that's been very challenging. So probably won't do that again, and I'll probably, again, just wait until the very end to do all my back stitching, beading, all that kind of fun stuff next time. I love the owl. He's so cute. I love owls. Some of the pumpkins, oh, those pumpkins in the middle and the ghosts, I did back stitch them because in the original pattern they are not back stitched, but I couldn't see them on my fabric, so I back stitched them. I think they look cute. So again, just over the years learning to make changes where I felt that I wanted more clarity or more detail, and that it was okay to do that. Because when I first started stitching back in the late 80s, the 1980s, that was not a thing. You just did not change a designer's pattern. So that's been something to kind of adjust to over the years. But now that I am more comfortable with it, I've been having a lot of fun altering some of the designs to be exactly how I want. So this one is called Halloween Hocus Pocus. Again, another twin project that Tammy finished. I did not. Halloween witch hats. Love the witches. Super cute. I have the majority of the hats done. I think there are 2. I know I have this one done. I'm working on this one, and I have to do all the background stuff still as well. I am stitching this on oatmeal fabric. I do not know what count. I'm guessing 14 because I don't have any notes on this one. But I think it looks really good on the oatmeal fabric. Colors really pop. It is a bit larger than I expected, that was for sure. But I like it. Nice bright colors. That'll be fun when it's done. And then is this the last one? No, this is the second to last one. This is a very, very large project. I am just in awe that Tammy finished this as quickly as she did. So this is the Haunted Mansion by Tiny Modernist. Again, it was another stitch along one year, but I bought the full chart when it was all said and done. And I am working on this area here. Tammy has finished this. She finished this so fast. She was like, I just really want it done by this Halloween. And she worked on it and got it done. So it is on a 28 count Haunted Lugana by Picture This Plus. This particular project, I had this extra piece of Haunted. I forget what I was going to use it for. It didn't work out, so I decided to stitch the Haunted Mansion on it. 2 over 2. It has 2 threads of floss over 2 fabric squares. So that's where I'm at. It is cute. I really like the way the stitching looks, 2 over 2, but it looks just as good 1 over 1 as well. But I am enjoying how that looks on this fabric. Pretty big piece, and I'm just barely in the center. And then the last project that Tammy finished that I did, excuse me, happens sometimes, that I didn't, is called Halloween Cobwebs. It's by Waxing Moon Designs. Let me tell you, I made the fabric for both of us. I dyed it, it's modeled, it looks great. She started it and finished it. I still have not started it. So this will be a project that if I finish, say by some miracle, 5 Halloween projects throughout this month, I will give my grace to start one of the 7 that I have, and this is one of those 7. Again, it's called Halloween Cobwebs by Waxing Moon Designs. Super cute. We saw this model stitched in a stitching shop in Denver, Colorado, and fell in love with it, and we both bought the pattern, and yes, I have not started it. But she's already fully finished hers and everything. It looks super cute. So here is the fabric. As I drop things, here's the fabric that I made. I do not know if I'm stitching it on that side or this side, or flip it other way around, so I could any which way. Looks pretty good that way. I will eventually, hopefully, start that, stitch it, and finish it, and finish it. Fully finish it. So I do have some Halloween new starts. Again, if by some chance I finish, say, 5 of these projects this month, which I do not see happening, but you never know, miracles happen. I have given myself grace to start a new one, and I have already dyed the fabric for these particular projects. So I will give you all the details here. All the Witches by Tiny Modernist CrossStitch. Such a cute design. Again, these are cute witches, but I still really fell in love with it. I will be stitching it on an 18 count white Aida that I modeled with olive drab, gunmetal gray, and electric green. There's my fabric. I think it looks amazing. And it's gonna look really good on there. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know which one of these I would stitch, you know, start if I had the opportunity to, but we'll find that out if I have that opportunity. This is by Glendon Place, called Castle Le Creep. Again, I love haunted houses, love Halloween, love houses in general. That's a really big one, but something drew me to it. It's different for sure. I do not recall seeing anyone on YouTube or Instagram or any of the other places stitching this Glendon Place. Maybe there is, and I just haven't found them yet. So I'm excited about this one, 14 count white Aida that I dyed with a modeled ultraviolet raven and blue abyss colors. I think it turned out really good. Let's think about this. I think it is taller versus wider, so maybe it would have to go this way. So maybe I could do a placement where my moon is around this area with the lighter modeling there. If I can hold this. Now I see why people say this is challenging to do. That might turn out pretty good. So there's the fabric. Pretty happy with that. Back side. So I got to figure out what orientation I want to use it. This is the Hiss Meow Purr from the Just CrossStitch Halloween issue. Don't know what year. There's the cat that I made that I showed you earlier that I just need to fully finish. That one here. So I've done this one, and I'm probably going to stitch this one next, and then that one. Those are just on, I do believe it's like a 16 count white Aida. Pretty simple. These last few ones that I'm going to show you are Mill Hill kits. The majority of them, I do believe, are the Buttons and Beads series. Most of mine, well, the ones I'm showing you are Halloween based for sure. Super cute. It's called Magic Shoes. But it is on perforated paper. Painted perforated paper. That's painted purple. It's hard to see in the camera. See better like this. Against the white there. And I did get, I forget where I got this from. I'll have to look that up if you're curious. But it's a magnetic frame. Whoops, as I drop it. It's a magnetic frame that I had customized to Happy Halloween. They did a great job. And it is the perfect size to hold the perforated paper while you stitch on it. Because these you can't bend to put in a hoop or anything else. But it holds it so you can stitch on it just fine. So I thought that was really cool. I got one for myself and my friend, Tammy. I think from here on out, I'll just say Tammy. So I got Tammy and I one of these, and they're great for the perforated paper. You could also finish with regular fabric in these, with them being magnetic. It'd be great for switching stuff out or stitching in it. So I love that, and I'll probably get more of those, and I'll have to look up where I got it from. It was something that the floss tuber Brenda at Handwork Maniac had mentioned these, and I went in her description box and found them. And it's an Etsy store, and it's a husband and wife that make these. I can't remember what state they're out of, but they're very, very kind. Sent handwritten notes saying thank you and all that stuff with purchase. So I do believe, even though that frame is great, I do believe I'm going to be stitching these on regular fabric because I'm not a big fan of the perforated paper. You'll see why here in just a few minutes. I also have the Moonstruck Buttons and Beads Mill Hill kit. And this is on black painted perforated paper. And this is why I'm going to switch to fabric. I was very disappointed in this. In the bag I had it in, all the paint stuck. I don't know if you can see that very well. All the paint stuck to the bag and came off the perforated paper. So that looks really bad. So I'm going to stitch it on black fabric and then maybe put it in like the magnetic frame and still switch them out if I want to or not, depending upon the season and what I'm doing. So I was a bit disappointed with that when I discovered that throughout all the move stuff. Another Buttons and Beads Mill Hill kit. This is called Painted Pumpkins. Again, love Halloween pumpkins, all the fun stuff. The faces crack me up. It just make me laugh. Especially the green one. He's all laughing. Ha, ha, ha. Does have the beads and all that in there. So again, it's an antique brown perforated paper. Not really happy with the way my stitches look on this perforated paper. So I think I'm going to switch to fabric. And that's why they're in the new starts for Halloween, because I'm not going to stitch them the way they are. This is my largest new start that I have been wanting to do for years. Let me see if I can figure out what year they were released. No, it's not on here, but that's okay. The patterns are by Little Stitch Girl. I'm a huge fan of, I think you say her name, Jordan Nicole. right here. Designed by Jordan Nicole. This little Stitch Girl Designs. Her and her mom have a floss tube, and since I've redone all of my social media, because I used to have accounts and they had to go away, and now I have new stuff. So I've got to go resubscribe to their channel because I absolutely love her patterns, her designs. They're amazing. And one year she put out one each month for the Spooky Hollow Village. I chose to use an 18 count white Aida that I dyed myself, a light gray modeled, and to make the moon on my fabric, because I'll explain that here in a moment with what chart it is, I used a shaving cream dye method. Happened to see a tutorial on YouTube, thought let's try this out, and it actually worked out really good. Took some practice, but I figured it out. So I'm actually doing, there are 12 designs in this, again, what's it called? Spooky Hollow Village. I'll get it right. Haven't started it yet. That's why the name is not familiar and in the tongue easily yet. So Spooky Hollow Village, there are 12 designs. I'm going to do them 4x3. A Little Stitch Girl did release a free border on her website that I have downloaded the PDF, and I have all of that, but I have not yet decided which parts of the border cutout that I'm going to use. I didn't even think to pull the border up so I could show you. But it's like just a simple little border kind of with little arches. And I'm thinking of leaving the outside border off, but using the inside border in between the rows of the houses and the businesses and all that kind of fun stuff. So again, I'm doing my 4 across by 3 down. So my very first one is going to be the bed and breakfast. I'm going to set these to the side as I do this. When I get to the 4th pattern, then I will show you the fabric. That's where it makes most sense. This one is the coffee shop, and this is the 2nd release, and I'm putting these in the order they were released. I just like the way they looked in the village 4 across 3 down. It's perfectly fitting for the way they're going to be, either one right next to each other or one right on top of each other with the way that the fabric is. So this is the coffee shop. That'll be in the 2nd position from left. 3rd is the dance hall. And then the 4th, which will be on the top right. Yes, the top right. I had to think about that. Because the fabric will be turned around top right. Is going to be the coffin shop, where I did a shaving cream dye of a moon. So the moon's going to sit up here, which is why I'm kind of thinking I won't do the outside border for the village itself, but the inside border separating basically each street from one from the other. So with the coffin shop, the fabric, and again, I dyed this myself, my coffin shop's going to sit where the moon is at, just a little below that, but it's still going to be part of the moon area, so it's spooky. And this is a huge project, but again, it's going to be 4 across 3 down. And then I have the coffin shop here, and then right below the coffin shop on the 2nd row down here will be the graveyard. And I think that's going to fit perfect with the way that my fabric came out with the dyeing. And again, that was done with shaving cream and powder dye on a cookie sheet that is now only for shaving cream dyes. Trial and error. I tested it out on other smaller pieces. I gave some of those pieces to my friend Tammy, and other ones I've kept for myself for future use. So then we have a pumpkin patch on the 2nd street, right below the 1st. The library, this is all on the 2nd street. And again, I'm probably going to make my ghost glow in the dark. the Sweet Shop. This is number 7. And then number 8 is the cemetery that's going to be right below the coffin shop and below the moon. So I think that's going to look really cool. It's going to work out really well. And then on the 3rd street will be the barber shop, which Little Stitch Girl had a really very sweet story about the barber shop, that her grandfather used to be a barber, and that's why she did this in the village. I think it's just a very touching story. Very, very sweet. Then we have the boutique. Very cute. The schoolhouse. And the very last one is the stitchery, which will be below the cemetery. So I think it's going to work out great on this beautiful fabric that I made. It'll be a fun layout, but it is a really large project and it would take many, many years. But the sooner I start it, the sooner I can finish it. So that's kind of how I see that. And I will see if I forgot anything, and I'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, so I do have one last thing. I was going to do my first spin with you on FlossTube number 1. So I hope you enjoyed my Halloween WIP parade. I will be back on the 15th to show you the progress. I have learned how to do the picture-in-picture, so I'll try to grab the screenshot of what they were today and show you progress from one to the other on the 15th. But I do have my spinner wheel set up for my October 2025 FlossTubes 1, 2, and 3, which I guess technically on FlossTube 3, it'll be the end of the month update from the 15th to the end of the month, so there won't be any spinner wheel that time. So for FlossTube 1 and 2, I'll do my first spin with you, and then I will be spinning this every day to see what I'm stitching on for that day, along with my house project and my chopping mall twin project. So let's do our first spin together. Let's see, I don't know, is the volume up? Do people like the volume to be up on the spinner? We'll put it up a little bit here. So there are 35 projects on here, and it does not include any of the new starts. So here we go. Let's see, what are we stitching on for October 1st today? Trick or Treat Mini. That is the Randall Spangler Heaven and Earth designs that I have a lot of the autumn leaves down at the top left. And that one I'm going to start parking on. So part of the process of working on that today, I'm very excited, is to get some of those colors started and start all the parking process and make some progress. So I'm really excited about that. And I also need to get in my stitching on house and chopping mall. So I have a lot of stitching to do today, and I'm just looking forward to it and having a lot of fun. So I will see you again on October 15th with FlossTube number 2 with the Halloween update. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I hope you have a lovely next 2 weeks. Happy stitching!